tell me what I'm doing. Okay, is it on?
It's on.
Okay, then it is 6 p.m. and I will call the June meeting of the Town of Milton Budget Committee to order. And I have just managed to put down my okay, minutes.
How about pledge?
I'm sorry, before I call the meeting to order, those who wish may recite the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, that non-agenda item being taken care of, I'll call the meeting to order at 6:01 for the work agenda of the Budget Committee. First would be minutes for review, approval for the meeting of Tuesday, May 16th. The motion would be to approve the minutes subject to corrections and additions. Is there a motion for that?
I move that we approve the minutes of Tuesday, May 16th with some corrections.
Okay, subject to corrections and additions. Is there a second?
Yes, you have
Hi,
it.
good evening.
I'll let us say.
Somebody second. You're the selectman's rep. Congratulations. Welcome to the meeting.
Thank you.
You just second the motion to review the minutes subject to corrections and additions. And you're welcome to sit at the table if you can find a spot, because you are a ex officio.
Let me run out and get my, unfortunately, Heather didn't leave me any literature for tonight, so let me run out to my car and grab
Oh.
some.
Another
Do
section.
you- Do you have a extra?
Well, I can give you Tom's.
expenditure?
I have everything in here. Just let me take some of this stuff out.
So, we are on the minutes of Tuesday, May 16th. Are there any corrections, small errors of grammar, stuff that did not get recorded as you believe it happened? Anything
Yes.
like that?
I have some grammatical changes.
Okay, and what page are you on?
On page 2,
Page 2.
under school district rep, I obviously didn't speak up loudly enough. The first line at the end, there are 2 stills. They still have $155,000 still. So I would say take the second still out. That one.
Okay.
To come in from, and it's the IDEA, second line, not the VRITA.
Okay. That's just for Brenda's convenience, line 2, school district rep, the line begins to come in from, it should be IDEA. Do you want to do the anagram for that? No, not necessarily.
Individual something, education,
Close,
something.
close enough. And again, on page 2.
On page 2, where it starts out bullet Mike Bolya, second line down, at the end of no cost, close to the end before the next M Bolya, there should be a period.
Okay, period, replacing comma.
Comma, yep. And then M Bolya asked where the kids went that were, and it's where.
Strike the H.
Strike the H. And that was all I
Okay.
had.
Any other comments, observations, corrections, or additions?
Do we typically get this in the mail before this meeting?
Yeah, it comes by way of email.
Can you get it? I just checked mine, I couldn't find it, but I'll double check when I get home.
That, if you would check with the vice chair and
Sitting next to me.
so right there, and find out what Brenda's email is, which I do not see here. I'm sure that she can add you to that distribution list. Erin, are you
I
on
didn't
that?
get one either.
You did not get one?
Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna have to check my email, because I check to see if everybody gets it.
I got this one, today's, but not the previous
Okay,
one.
I will check on all of it from now on until everything is comfortable. I'll probably send Brenda another list. Okay, that way there, everybody
Yeah.
will be up to
Thank
date.
So, repeat my comments to Sean. Insert name Aaron.
Okay, pull up a chair.
Aye. And
Everybody's squeezing.
that
I'm spreading out over
that brings one more person, Tom McDougall. And for the convenience of people watching, if we are all in the view from my left, Aaron, I'm sorry, I just lost your last name.
Before we go any further, we didn't
Approve
vote
the
on
minutes.
this.
Yeah.
We got a motion on the table, you
That-
gotta finish that motion.
For the minutes.
Right.
The Tom, we are in the middle of discussing the minutes of. We're here. Scoot in. Take that when it's closer.
Oh.
You want to be there, or where do you
Hi,
want to
Tom.
go? Okay. Mm. You slide. I'll slide. And we are on the approval of the minutes of May 16th. A few grammatical errors have been noted by Peg. Nothing else has come to light on those. I will read the motion is to approve the minutes of Tuesday, May 16th, subject to corrections and additions. So you are present for the motion. You may vote. Any other discussion? Okay. Then from my left, in favor, Aaron,
Aye.
Sean,
Yes.
Tom.
Abstain?
Aye.
Aye. Abstain?
Yeah.
Okay. Aye. So that'd be those of you who abstain, put up your hand.
There's
1, 2, 3. 3 abstentions,
So we'd be 6.
and it would be
6, 0, and 3.
6 favor. Okay. Then to back up, as 2 people came in after we opened the meeting. Aaron, I'm sorry, I misremembered. Hutchins, yes?
Hutchings, correct.
INGS.
Correct.
Okay. Aaron Hutchings, Sean Perrault, Bob
Bob
Carrier, Tom McDougall, Peg Hurd, Stan Nato, Dennis Wing, and Andy Rossman. Are you going to be our rep now, or are you sitting in?
I'm just in a.
Okay. Mike
Okay.
has sent me an email. He will not be here tonight.
Oh, okay.
So I guess Andy's going to be
So that's
the
okay.
representative.
The school district and Board of Selectmen are their own representatives as they wish. So that brings us to old business, which I think is still the best way to describe it, and that is a progress report on data formats and their utility. There had been discussion. Dennis, you were not here last time. You were in New York.
Somewhere, yeah.
Yes, somewhere in New York. Going back to when Caitlin was still here, and she was trying to get a way to show how something would really jump out in an average of facts. Sean and Tom basically started thinking about other ways to present information, and that exhausts my technical knowledge. So is there anything more to that discussion you guys want to add?
We got the data in CSV format, which is what we asked for. It's formatted a little bit differently than the reports that she gives us in PDF. I haven't had a chance to do anything with it yet. I've just been slammed both at work and at home. I don't know if anybody else has had a chance to play with the data or not.
Yep, so I want to thank everyone who made an effort to get us that data in both those formats. Looks like the format that Bob got is looking great, printed out and everything's cool there. Electronic format's working great. I put in a few reports to outline, to highlight some rows where we were above budget, some where we're getting to the yellow, and then some with green, which in my report is we're right, spot on, 100%, 100%. So it's been very helpful for me. From going forward, all I need to do is create a new sheet, drop the data in a new sheet, all the macros run immediately. I can immediately see, boom, all these things are over budget, coming close to over budget, etc. So
Okay.
it's been very helpful.
So it is a traffic light format.
That's what I use, yep.
Yep, okay.
If I could ask Sean,
Yep.
can you, once you've downloaded it and done your little macro thingies, can you send that off? I mean, I know you can't send it to everybody, but maybe individually.
So what I
Those
was
of us-
planning on doing, because as far as I know, these are public records.
Yes.
Anyone's allowed to look at them. I can upload it to like a Google Drive and send everyone through whoever I have to a link saying these are where the documents
Okay.
are. Feel free to download them and
Good.
use them as appropriate.
Because that certainly will help me when I'm going through going, okay, I caught it first, all right.
Yeah, I can let you see it if you want afterwards. It's pretty
Okay,
obvious
well-
which ones are there.
Bob,
Okay, now, the idea was that the accounting was going to take care of this. This is what Caitlin had in mind, that they would take care of it and not us. So if that thing is working, will it be perfectly in there? Because I don't know, everybody got Excel? Does everybody have it?
We're getting it both ways, Bob.
I know, but the thing is, if we can eliminate maybe one,
I wouldn't eliminate one. I like it the whole way personally.
well, I do too, but they put some effort in there, so I'd like to see.
Well,
if
that's
it-
okay, but
If he sends it out to me like he did the other way, the school came out the same way, all over the place, and,
Yeah,
It
I
just-
mean, I think it's best that we just do it both ways.
Okay.
Then it covers all of our bases. People who want to use it on a computer are able to. People who want to look at a spreadsheet can do that as well. I have a related topic we can bring up after this discussion's over, but I don't see, and I think Tom actually has seen them exported, and it's not a lot of extra
No,
work.
it's a button click, you tell it you want to save it as a
okay, so,
Excel format or whatever it was, it takes.
so we're not going to give this to the town to do this? I mean, Caitlin had, that was her
Yeah.
idea.
The town exports today, they give us the.
They give you the data, but
the-
I'm
the-
talking about this format.
that,
This was, I
I-
think Caitlin was, that was her idea.
Okay, did you get an Excel
What-
and a
what's-
PDF from the
if-
town?
If
We can get
everybody,
both.
if everybody gets happy with a particular format that it looks like, maybe we could have the town do it. I think right now, this sort of thing is, I believe, relatively new for the budget committee to look at data like this.
It is.
So I would be hesitant to say, Buckshaw's got it's perfect, let's give it to the town, have them do it. Because as we come into budget season, we might find, we want to change it to do this. We want to, I would recommend we let those of us that are interested in, I hate to say playing with it, but those of us interested in playing with it, experiment with it, come up with what seems to work best, and then maybe next year, if we find, hey, we've got this, we haven't changed it in 4 or 5 months, we've gone through a budget cycle with it, everybody on the board likes it, then maybe we ask the town if they could take it over.
So we'll still take it both ways then,
Yeah.
PDF, because,
Yeah, that's what I would do. I would, because and that also eliminates the big concern that I heard multiple times was you can change the data that you get. Yes, it is a little bit easier to change the electronic data in the CSV than it is a PDF.
yep.
But, so that, getting it as PDF, this would be the quasi-official form, if you will. The official form is what resides on the accountant's computer.
so,
But the PDF would be the official
Yeah, okay.
numbers.
okay. When you say change, you mean fabricate and misrepresent.
Yes.
Yes, okay.
Yep. And least anybody thinks that you can't do that with a PDF, you can. It's pretty simple. But it's a little easier to do it with the electronic Excel data because that program happens to be a little more available to people. And it's just text is what we're
Well,
getting. So
just for me, while I'm printing these out this year, because this is going to come to an end, because I won't be doing these anymore. We're going to have to budget for the town, because I can't do this all the time.
yeah, no,
But this is easier for me. All I do is I get it, and I print them
Oh,
off.
yeah. Yeah, and I wouldn't say there'd be anything wrong with having the town put,
Yeah.
because they have a Google Calendar, have them put a link. This is where the documents are. Budget committee members, if you want the documents, you go here and you get a copy of them.
Okay. What is still needed, The budget, Chapter 32 says that the Budget Committee may request detail in such details as it requires to prepare and evaluate the budget for the ensuing year. We have a new finance clerk, Vanessa, who I understand is coming up to speed very nicely, who is getting used to the formats, categories, and the basic entries that each department of the town uses. Is that a fair summary? And she is in the process of seeing items that do not fit where they are being assigned. So she is working her way through that. My own interest is always a piece. My favorite is one 8.5 by 11 piece of paper that shows me how the information is in this case how the information is going to come to the Budget Committee and what a person does to retrieve that in an electronic universe, whether it is the PDF or the other initials that I've already forgotten. So for myself, picking on the school district, because it's easy for the categories I want, there are basically three things. We have teachers and staff costs. We have the physical plant operation cost that includes transportation and bus drivers. And then we have special ed and its secondary costs associated to transportation and medical services. So what Sean has put together is something that for some topic of financial interest has red light, yellow light, green light, a high, varying, and dead-on accurate and on cost. So when we come back in August, what I'm still am looking for is something where the town Board of Selectmen rep and the school district rep can say, I want you to look at this area, and this area, because we have expenses that are trending low, high, or right on target, and we have had the following problems or successes. Then, when we get done with that, we will be in September, which is when the town is starting to put together its next year budget, and the school district has had 3 months experience for what it means to be living in a post-July 1st year. That is the limit of my technical knowledge of how the budget works. And what you, Tom, and Sean, what you are presenting is fine. I have no prejudice I have no prejudice against it, and no strong support for it. What I don't want to do is wind up in something that puts us at loggerheads with the town, overloads Vanessa as a new person, or has Nate throw up his hands that it's impossible to, does the word configure fit? Configure the way they're giving us financial information with what the new system is asking. And that is a completely naive question. That is not meant to be at all dismissive or unsupportive of the conversation that Sean just gave us, but we have town and school materials coming in. Sean, you said there was something else you wanted to discuss on that. Is it the same topic or a new topic?
It's similar. It has to do with emails, and when we send out emails, we had discussed putting people on the BCC line to prevent any sort of, what is it, 91A
Okay.
issues with us communicating with one another
Fine.
outside of these meetings.
Then what I just did is I wrote BCC under number 6, other business.
Works for me. Thank you.
And that will be different from a financial discussion.
Works for me, Chairman.
You're welcome, Mr. Budget Committee member. Then, is there anything else that anyone would like to discuss under the topic of old business and how financial information is coming in? Andy, you have had a chance to work with Vanessa now for about, is it a month and a half already?
I think we've been here for about a month.
About a month.
Yeah.
Okay. And when we get to your part, I will leave it to you and a little bit Bob to discuss the $11,000. So heads up. Then on number 4, if there's anything you would like to discuss on old business.
Number 3.
We're still on number 3. Peg, was there something that caught your eye here?
No, I mean, my big thing was just asking Sean if he would send the file with all of his little macros in, so
Okay.
I don't have to worry
Now,
about it. That would be awesome, thank you.
Aaron, you're down at the end. You are automatically, by definition, swifter than I am on computers and their interests. Are you already an easy computer user, familiar with Excel and the rest?
Very,
Yes, okay. Then, may I ask that you and Sean and Tom and to the degree that you need it, Mike, Andy, Vanessa, the town administrator, Heather, and Tom McDougall, share things. You will be less than a quorum, so that you, for whatever you think you want and need, can have an email conversation of 3 people of the Budget Committee, less than a quorum, on the exact topic of getting more detailed reports in a format that is useful to you. Does that sound reasonable to the committee? Okay.
I'm not even quite sure what you're asking, because right now we're getting the format that we need, so we're okay.
And Aaron is, okay. see,
Aaron will.
Told you that you're already ahead of me. That's fine. Good. Then, there being nothing else there, the school district representative, the budget status and issues of note for the year that is rapidly ending 6/30/17.
Yes, all right. The report that you have shows that we are currently $24,000 in the hole. I stopped in to see Nate today. He was frantically finishing payroll, but he did say that his new figures, we are going to end, hopefully, with a 23,000 plus balance positive.
Wow.
So what he did was, he took out some of the encumbrances that we will not be spending, such as gas, fuel, and he said, there were some others, but he really didn't want to spend a lot of time with me because people wanted their paychecks. So,
Understand.
minor problem. So he is going to sit down on Friday and go through everything. But the big notes, again, still, if you go to page 3, under special education, the very first thing that jumps right out, elementary summer school salaries, and that is the extended school year for students who will lose what they've learned through the year if they take the whole summer off. It is budgeted for this coming year, but we did not expect all of that money to be spent this year. But it's in their IEPs, they have to go, we didn't know about it.
So for clarity, what you're saying is you budgeted
We
$4,000.
Right.
And in reality, you're gonna spend $11,000.
Right. Right.
Actually, no. Reporting period, you're gonna
Almost
spend
15.
$15,000 because you're over by
Right,
11.
we're over by 10. Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
It's quite a hiccup.
Well, the whole special ed budget is quite a hiccup because of different things that cropped up, like children we were not expecting this year.
And-
That was the first one on up, and elementary sped, special ed still page down at the bottom. Tutor salaries. Again, IEPs, we had quite a few students move in that we were not expecting. The top of the next page, the middle,
That alone represents about $150,000.
yep. Well, wait until you see what we're down in the bottom.
You were moved to
I just was on the top
Page
of
4.
page 4,
Top line.
and
tutor
tutor.
salaries. I mean, if you kind of look all the way down, we are over. There's one here,
Yeah, I don't,
high school special ed teachers dental,
Yes.
that obviously something needs to be moved there.
that's a huge
Yeah.
discrepancy.
Yeah. It's not a lot of money, but it's a huge discrepancy with what was budgeted.
Well, you got $1,000 budgeted and you get 2542 spent. So
Yeah.
you're talking, as it says there, 155%.
I know. So we, as I said, Nate really needs to go through some of this because I'll wait until I get there. But anyway, the rest, there are things that are over. If you get to page 5, elementary special ed contracted services, that's our partnership program that is better budgeted for next year. But that has kept quite a few kids within district that we would normally have to send out, so it would be a lot worse than that. Let's see, okay.
What, I'm sorry, would you please define
It's,
better adjusted, and you're referring to the year starting July 1st?
Yes, and these kids
Will still be here.
will still be here.
They will
So,
be in the summer program?
I'm gonna say, but the majority of them will be in the summer program. It's both elementary and middle school kids, but this is all elementary, and it's our partnership program.
Right.
And what I was trying to say was that if we did not have the partnership program, many of these students would have to be transported out, and it would cost a lot more than what this is.
So,
So we have budgeted for the partnership program for next year, which we hadn't for this year, so.
so the question?
Yes.
The compared to the $199,806.73, what do you expect next year?
All right, well, I think if you add both of those together, that's probably what's in the budget for next year.
Mm-hmm.
Because it is a contracted service, so we know what it's gonna cost.
Okay.
So the people should expect a big increase in next year's school budget then.
Well, we've already gotten through the budget, so.
But I'm just saying, the next coming one, because we already get one approved.
Right.
You're talking about adjusting the numbers for the 2018-19 year, correct? Is that what you're saying?
All right, what are we going into, 17, 18?
17,
18 right now.
Yeah, or it should be hopefully equal. But I'm not, can't promise anything. I mean, these kids come in to the district and we cannot send them away. Everything is their IEP, what it says in their IEP, and it's IEP driven. If you move to the next page, page 6, let's see, it's 1,257, 310, elementary sped new equipment. That was new equipment for these kids in the partnership program. So again, that was IEP driven, stuff that they needed. And with only a couple of weeks to go, 14% overall in special ed for $311,707.25.
But when you consider all the big hitters that you pointed out, still, you're only over 14%,
Mm-hmm. Yep.
which is
And
not good, but not too bad.
yeah, I know, especially with the students that we did have come in that we had to send out. Oh, I'm sorry.
Quick question on that, apologies.
Oh,
You mentioned it's because some of them having to stay for summer school because of the IEP. Is it the students coming in that had IEPs that you did not know about caused the surprise increase?
That,
correct?
yeah, that and because we kept kids here in this partnership program that we had not budgeted for because they had been out of district. So, I know, it's a catch-22. We send them out, it costs us a lot of money. We bring them in, we hadn't budgeted for it, but we've got a program in place that is meeting the needs of these students locally, and it would be more expensive to send them out, so. So the students that we have, we will be keeping, and we don't have a clue how many more will be coming in. There is $155,000 in the special ed trust fund. So we're looking to possibly move some of that to offset some of the.
Because right now, that 23,000 isn't gonna take care of maybe one of your warrant articles.
If not even that.
Right, I mean,
I know.
a partial payment.
Yep.
Yeah.
I know.
And that means there'll be no money coming back to the town
You got it.
to offset any kind of taxes.
I know.
I got a question now.
Okay.
We got some stuff like here, the mid-umps, refs stuff.
What page you want?
Page 7. Mid-umps, ref salaries. Why is it that over 165%? Isn't that a set amount? How can that be? Was there an adjustment made?
Oh. You know what? I think I will have to check. Let me highlight that. But let me check on that because
Because that's affected with the FICA and the retirement and everything.
I think what happened, quite honestly, Stan, is, if I'm remembering correctly with conversations, that we had some students doing some things and they really should not be repping or umping or any of that stuff, so, but I will check on that one.
Please.
That Stan, you may remember from 2 years ago, a conversation that Lou had regarding that topic, and she was concerned that people with more substantial needs to provide for adult families rather than be a dependent child earning pocket money. She wanted the money to go to a more adult population.
Okay, so if that was stated 2 years ago, it should have been reflected in this budget.
I agree.
That's all I know. But that has to be part of it because there was a discussion on where the umpire salaries should be going, and this was in terms of some of the smaller intramural things, not for the state championship umps.
And another question, on page 11, like library, elementary library salary, that's over than what was budgeted for.
Yes.
Now, by $5,000.
Yes.
Now, why? I mean, is that due to the raises that was given out?
No, that is due to the person who was hired. So you kind of set a budget, you know you've got somebody new coming in, and if we have somebody who, bottom of the scale, and this is the top of the scale, you kind of go in the middle. And the only person that was really qualified was towards the top of the scale, and we needed a librarian, and it's, oh well.
Yeah, because that affected the dental, it affected everything.
Yep.
It was a domino effect.
Oh yeah. But she has, I think it's acknowledged now. So we have replaced that particular position with a less expensive position.
Okay, on page 13, same thing, salaries, school board secretary. I'm seeing a lot of salaries that are over. I mean, the number 137% over is dramatic, but it's not that bad, because if you look at the numerical part of it, you know what I mean, it's not that much
Right.
money, but still, it's like, what was
I
the
agree.
changes that created that?
It takes her a while to do the minutes.
I mean, thank God you have some places in this budget that you still got 100% left.
Yep.
Yeah. That's
All
good.
right, so I am going to ask Sean, did you
Well,
come up with anything else that,
Nope, I mean, Stan's definitely highlighting every single spot that I can see. Definitely a sea of red.
oh yeah.
In
And
the
I
spreadsheet.
highlighted some others that you had read, I hope.
Yeah, if every time there were a parenthesis, it was printed out in red, it would save time.
Do you know what? I think I'll ask Nate if he'll do that.
I think it's pretty easy to find.
I kinda like the red
You know,
though.
Even so, everything in a parenthesis is a negative. And if you
It is.
if you can print without much cost, it saves you your magic marker time.
And you highlighted.
Is there anything? So those are the problems. For the last 3 or 4 months, there has been the knowledge that the giant wave is moving closer to the coast for the costs of special ed and its impact on the budget year ending 6/30. You said that you have made some adjustments. I understand that the director of special ed, or whatever the position's name at the moment is, that should be a reduction in cost, because I would think that a person with less time is,
Librarian, yeah.
and librarian also has been changed.
All right, so Sean, did you come up with anything else that none of us touched upon?
Not where the numbers, I mean, the percentages might be high, but the numbers aren't extravagant, right?
Well, there's more salaries in here, just so you know.
Really?
Oh, yeah, high school stuff and everything. There's more salaries over, so, no. Want to go back and pull them out for you? Page 18,
Yeah, page 18, yeah.
okay?
Killing me. Oh, you know what, I forgot on page 18.
See how much is highlighted on 18?
Are these typically the same reason, where when you had an opening, you budgeted for the median person, but you got a more experienced person come in?
All right, on page 18, I totally bypassed all of this. The two really biggies, the 2 lines, second and fourth line under transportation. We have absolutely no clue where those lines came from, that amount came from. So that's something that Nate is going to be looking into. The 2710 5100, the elementary special ed transportation driver salaries, and the high school
Special ed.
Yes.
special ed. Yeah, those are way out of whack. Which then goes down to, you know, the high FICA and everything else FICA. So
So is that due to like overtime, that type of thing?
Nate was gonna look into it, and as I said, he was doing payroll.
Yep.
So he's gonna be spending a lot of time on this on Friday, so.
Speaking in the most, in general and non-revealing terms, if there is an individual whose situation requires one-on-one transport, that is an expense that could mount very quickly.
And we do have a couple of those, so. Out of Milton.
Yes.
Far north, we have one.
Okay. Then, are there is there anything else that you would like to bring in under the topic of budget status and issues of note?
Oh, Wait.
Well, on the revenue report, you're still showing 13% remaining.
Yep.
Is that, if I'm reading that correctly, it's still 13% of the overall revenue that was budgeted still due to the
Yes.
district?
Yep.
So that represents, how much money still owed?
1.3. Yep.
1.36774?
Yep.
Can we assume that you'll be getting that? Or is
Well,
that still up in the air?
As long as Andy appropriates it and sends it to us, we're all set. It comes the biggest part comes from the town.
Well, you know you're gonna get that. The RSA states the town has to pay you,
Right.
whatever the people voted in.
Yes.
And then from the state, the adequate education grant. So we have some grant money that we should be getting. So, yeah, no, there is still money coming in.
And I think that the final reconciliation on that can stretch practically to December 31st.
Just about, by the
Yep.
time everything comes in.
That,
Okay.
Bob Carrier.
What I liked, and I was trying to find that sheet, this came from Ann Walsh. I think Nathan would know that. The final numbers that would come in, because there's still money that's gonna be still spent even after your,
Encumbrances.
Oh,
after
right.
July, the new
Right.
budget, but you're gonna have our old bills coming in.
Encumbrances, yes.
Yeah,
And they
and
have
then the
6 months, I
revenue.
think it is, to pay them, right? Isn't that what it is?
Yeah, but there's revenues that'll still be coming in after that.
Right.
And last year I wanted to get that report, but
What
we never
report
got
is
it.
that?
The final, it's only a one page. They show the functions and how much the budget was and what was spent and what revenues came in, the final numbers. I was trying to find that sheet,
All right, well, let me.
So you want the
ask-
final breakdown of the year?
yeah, for the whole year, because everything's still gonna be going on.
Well, they don't close their books out until they get everything done.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right, and that's, I think the three of us are on the same thing. What I'm talking about is the final reconciliation
Right,
yeah.
for nominal December 31st.
right.
Yeah.
Because you can't spend an encumbrance after
Yeah.
6 months, is the way I understand it.
Okay. Then, any other, Dennis? And you're up next. Any question for Aaron? Start down on my left. Questions, ideas, comments from your end, and welcome. Okay. Sean?
Not in the school budget.
Not on the school budget. Bob Carrier.
I think there's some lines that actually should be, what you do is you budget for the people that you have on special ed, but you don't put a safety net in there at all. This is what needs to be done. I know it's gonna raise the budget, but if you're not putting a safety net in,
Right.
okay, I know you have money in the capital reserve, but as you see, 300 some odd thousand over, it doesn't take much to take that apart.
I know, we don't want to spend it all.
That's just my comment on there, because you're budgeting very tight.
A question regarding, I remember that it was a special transportation, a special ed special transportation. Is that the trust fund that you're speaking, or is there another one?
No, there's a special ed trust fund.
One
Oh,
of the
you got
warrant
the,
articles.
okay. I can never remember the name of them.
It was in one of the warrant
Okay.
articles.
No,
Not
this
that
is,
one?
we
Okay.
have it, it exists. What do you
Right,
call
but
those things?
it was every year they have a warrant
Oh,
article,
right,
they
right.
contribute into it.
Right,
Yeah.
Okay. For
Is that
the paper that I'm looking at has a trust fund on it that is called Education of Special Needs Children, and it has an ending balance of 155,200, which is the figure you gave. And then there are also trust fund balances for the school district for the improvement of security, for the school bus, which is more of a rotating operation, maintenance and repair, and technology, which have relatively smaller amounts in them, several $1,000s, a little bit over 40,000 for school building maintenance. But I would expect that there's going to be a major drawdown against the education of special needs children. So, thank you, Bob.
yeah, I didn't have that one, thank you.
Then, school district rep, town rep, Andy, you are sitting in, but I know that there was a discussion of some budget issues last night, and you probably have your own thoughts on how the budget is shaping up with the time that Vanessa has been able to put in. So, speak.
Well, I mean, well, we're very fortunate to have Vanessa. She's going to be a huge asset to the town. I mean, they've been, unfortunately, you know, without a bookkeeper, things have unfortunately gone to the wayside here. But she is quickly, you know, as you stated, coming up to speed, and she is, you know, fixing some issues that was in the budget. So, I mean, if you have any questions.
The, okay, then just to throw the ball up in the air so people can take a whack at it. The question is always, Mike continually asked, and as did Tom before him, so what are the percentages?
Okay.
And do the selectmen presently feel that the percentage that should be spent, which is the end of this month, will be 6 months?
Yeah.
So the magic percentage is 50%.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I talked to Heather today. This expenditure report is almost correct. There is still a few flaws in it, and I know some of the questions probably tonight, I hopefully I'll be able to answer. But, you know, we're at 40%, and I mean, I think we're doing all right. I don't know if that was your question or not. I mean, I'm not quite sure how the selectmen rep. Unfortunately, I haven't
dear.
been able to sit in a meeting, so.
That you have the advantage of doing selectmen's work, you know, day by day. I think Stan probably has a question. Bob has a question, and Sean may have. I see at least one. I see two, 3, 4.
Keep going.
I see a couple. I see several red lines flipping up on his new color chart.
Hopefully I'll be able to.
So there are two things, and I will start off that conversation. We are presently they both happen to be police department. We are down a couple of officers, and we got an 11,000 and change dollar credit on the poor Humvee that burned to death. I happened to go past as it was being loaded into the truck.
Yeah.
And Vanessa, I believe, who discussed that last night? Was it you?
I did.
You
Yep.
did. Okay.
Yep.
And Bob Carrier, did you want to pick up on that?
Well, there was 2 resignations that's going to affect that budget. That was their Rachel, well, I don't know her married name, but it was Rachel Cody on the
Shipman.
welfare.
Shipman.
Okay. I will tell you right now, that's a big loss for us. And it's going to affect her. Her time ends this week sometimes, yeah. You have a replacement ready for her?
No, I mean, Heather is moving forward. As I stated last night, you know, it was, I gave her my deeply regrets. I didn't want to lose Heather. I mean, I didn't want to lose Rachel. She again was a huge asset to the town. She did a great job. She actually brought the welfare department to where it is today. I think moving forward, though, Heather has a lot of background in welfare. I think I have some ideas, so I think we'll be fine.
I've got one thing here under the town administrators, and it's really, to me, it's standing out. It's not overspent, but it doesn't make any sense. It's contracted services. For the month of May, we spent $17,305. That's an awful lot of money for a month.
Depends when they'll come due. The contract services,
Yeah.
they're due.
I've checked some of the budgets from last year. The highest I've ever saw in a month is $6,000 we've ever spent.
depends when the due date is again. That might be.
I wish I
they-
had that sheet here, so I know it's in it, but I don't remember.
That's the thing that what you're doing with the Excel isn't gonna tell you. A lot of this stuff like here, and he should be saying this, is a one-time payment. And the month that it comes due may look like a lot spent that month, but it's for the whole year.
But the thing is, though, I've gone, for the whole year, last year, we've spent 96%. I went looking back on the 2016,
Yeah.
and 6,000 was the highest we ever spent in 1 month. There was some with 2,000 and some even less than that. It's just something that, would you just check to see if that number is correct?
Yeah, no, I most definitely will.
It
I know
just-
there was some, I actually asked Heather, there was some big bills paid.
Yeah, okay, so,
Under contracted services.
okay, maybe Stan's got it right then, because,
Well, at the end of the year,
Yeah.
when we see that it's over,
yeah,
that's when we yak.
okay,
No,
I got you. I just wanted to bring it up because I never seen it
Does,
that way.
would Joanne Smith, the Director of Financial Services, would her contract show under that line?
Yes.
Yes.
And it is possible that,
Our
given...
IT is under this line,
Mhm.
Anything's a contract.
that's right.
Okay,
Yeah.
So, and I know there was a couple of big bills she told me.
Yeah,
that
it would be,
came in.
sometimes it would be nice to have a distinction between contracts for mechanical services, contracts for professional, human-based services.
okay, just to follow up on that. Joanne only comes in once a week, but does she work from home? I know she has access to the computers.
I mean, she did, I mean, now we have, our new bookkeeper.
Yeah.
She's gonna actually, I mean, she's still gonna be, on board. I think she's just gonna work on Fridays.
Okay.
So your question is, does she work from home? I know she did in the past. I don't think she's,
Okay, this was before Vanessa came in.
Yeah.
'Cause- okay, that's all.
So one thing, during the meeting last night, they talked about upgrading the computer system
yes.
and the use of contractors to determine the needs. Would that go underneath this budget as well?
Yes.
Wasn't that a warrant article though?
Well, we only have $7,000 into that.
All right,
but-
so you split it?
Yeah, I mean, probably some of that will come out of here. I mean, I've talked with Heather about it, how we're gonna move forward with fixing the issues here.
Sure.
And, it'll be taken out of probably a couple of areas, unfortunately. But,
I'm all set.
Okay. And Claudine, Claudine Burnham has offered her resignation as the Assistant Director. And I do not remember, it's an easy name to remember, Brown, but I don't know her first.
Karen?
No, it's another one. Who's the new assistant camp director?
yes. Yep, she.
Somebody Brown.
I'm sorry?
Miss Brown.
Somebody Brown.
Yes.
Ms. Brown has been hired.
Yeah, she's possibly, might make a lateral move.
Mhm.
She comes with an associate's degree. It's just, it might work, so, for the town.
Then, the next hole in the budget that I can think of is the total employees for the police department. We are down 2 or 3?
We are down 2.
Down 2, okay.
Is the one that was out on with a foot problem back?
He's back,
No.
almost 100%.
Yeah, so that will represent a certain cost saving, but at midpoint right now, if I were to what I think I hear as your summary is that the percentage of the budget spent is under the quote perfect 50% that it could be for the midpoint of the year. We have a couple of key staff losses. We have gained a competent finance and payroll clerk. And when September comes, the selectmen will have the advantage of a town administrator who has been on the job for a year, and will have the advantage of the payroll clerk to provide the number crunching backup for the department heads to present their preliminary budgets. Good. Okay.
Yeah, no, hopefully it'll be a little, a little bit easier this year
Yes.
than it was last.
And Dennis, would you like would you please repeat what you said earlier regarding backup documentation? You remember what that was? Basically,
Apparently not.
if it no show, it no go.
That's right, yeah.
I have some questions on the budget. But a lot of it's stuff that we asked Mike last meeting that we were looking for answers for. They stick right out. Why so much of the postage throughout the whole budget?
Yep.
Life insurance doesn't make no sense to me at all. You have a huge increase in the life insurance. Adding 1 or 2 people, it shouldn't make that increase. You know what I mean? If someone wasn't taking life insurance, now they are, or a new employee type thing. I think we really need to get the answers to that. Why? Because in this budget, this printout is still exceeds.
I can answer the question, Steve, on the postage. We have a postage meter, and they're working on it right now. Unfortunately, it wasn't reset. It's supposed to be reset every month. It hasn't been reset. And that's why the postage is over. But in reality, it really isn't over. And Joanne's going to work on that this Friday.
Are we getting billed for what wasn't reset?
No.
Okay.
No.
So
And-
that has to be adjusted.
Yeah, that you'll find that it isn't over, and it will, you'll see a difference in this next month on the postage. Unfortunately, on the life insurance. Now, where is that left?
I have so much stuff. What page is that? Do you remember what page that was on?
Page 4? 4.
Page 4. Yeah, under insurance and benefits,
Yeah.
250 line. It was budgeted for $650. It shows $1,021. It's $371 overdrawn per se. That doesn't make sense. You know what I mean? Because we probably only offer like a $5,000 or $10,000 life insurance, and that should be like $60, $70 a year per person. You know what I mean? So, if that even.
How much did you say we had expended on that line, Stan?
It says right here that
2-1.
year-to-date, $1,021.28.
On line
$250.
4155, 250.
Yeah.
Mine says 94516.
What's your printout on your paper?
Oh, great.
The one that I just got from.
And what's this here in the left-hand corner? Upper left-hand corner.
612? We've got 6-2.
I got 6.2.
I got 6 too.
It all should be 6'2".
Did you get 612?
I just got it from.
Oh, no, 6'12". I got
I just
6'12".
got it from Bob.
I got 6.2 right there.
Me too.
You're behind times.
So what's it saying on the newer
I know
printout?
what I did. This
It's
6
showing 945.16,
Yeah. I don't know.
but it's still overdrawn by $300.
Yeah, it's still over. It's,
Yeah.
Oh, I know what happened.
Okay.
They sent 2 of these PDF forms. I must have copied off this one. Because I had all yours 6'2", and I just decided to put on a different color. And I hit the wrong one.
I mean, I can find out less, and so you don't have to wait till
Yeah.
the next.
No, we'll wait for the next meeting because we're only halfway through the year. I mean, but there's one here that really baffled me. On page 12, of course I'm going off a 6.2 runoff, on account number, let's see here, 4520-240, training. Did they owe us money because we overpaid for training? Because we have negative numbers in that, and also professional services.
That's exactly what I was going to ask too.
That makes no sense.
They're paying us.
Yeah.
I want that job.
You know what I mean?
So it might have been a fat finger, maybe.
Now, if they had that money in that line incorrectly,
Nice technical.
and they had to pull it out, put it in the right line, and they did it twice, that would make sense. But that shouldn't be, never see a negative on a year-to-date.
And there's more remaining than what we spent.
Well, there's one on the PD miscellaneous too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, anything negative shouldn't exist. Now, unless it was a duplicate credit. In other words, they had it in the wrong line, they correction.
Sure.
Okay.
And, the library, same thing. Library Contracted services, $144. Apparently they paid us to fix something.
That must have been a mistake because 612 doesn't have that in library.
No, all right. See, again, I'm working off the 6.2 printout.
Yeah,
That's all mine.
I'm wondering because I seem to remember some discussion about they had found things and were fixing them
Yeah.
as they found them, and
Maybe we gotta,
All right, you know what? On a 612 then, on page, if you still have the same page numbers, page 6 and
I don't know.
Police Department miscellaneous.
6.2.
page 6.
All my printouts are 6.2 so far.
Yeah.
Department miscellaneous?
Really can't understand why.
11,000.
Something like it.
But anyway, we all know
Yes,
it's,
890.
Oh, yeah,
technically,
it's
we're not
still
even halfway
like
through the
11.
year. So,
Okay.
Yeah, no, I mean.
That
I
was,
can- I can
that
have
was
Monday
because of
meeting.
the,
no, just for the next
no,
meeting.
that's because of the Humvee.
I let her know.
The,
That's where they put the money for the Humvee.
Well, no, that goes in the general fund.
that
That shouldn't be showing up.
for my understanding is that the police chief asked where the money could be parked, coming back from the insurance proceeds on the Humvee. And the resolution and agreement of the Board of Selectmen was that money would be passing in and out of the general fund and would be used to equip the police vehicles with specialized equipment that is either at the point of failure or is needful for proper operation. Does that
But-
sound right?
But it can't exceed the budget. You still can't exceed the budget. I don't care if you put $5 million in the general fund, you can't exceed the budget. That's the law.
Right.
So that goes in the general fund, that stays in the general fund. If you overdraw the line because you used some funds for that's one thing, but you can't say you're using that particular money for that, because that goes in the general fund. You cannot exceed the budget, no matter how much money comes in by revenue.
Let me get back to that. I'll get back to you, Stan. I know that that the chief, when we got the insurance money on the Humvee, he asked the Board of Selectmen if he could use that insurance money to upgrade his police cars with a better internet service, because he was losing internet all over town. And
I'm not opposed to it, I'm just saying what I've been taught, what the law is,
yeah,
okay? You cannot exceed the budget at all,
So
no matter how much revenue come in.
the question would be
Dead zones.
whether or not
Anyways.
there is some federal finger still holding on to the money that permits its redirection within the general category.
That would be a grant.
It's
That would be a
possible.
grant. That's
That's
not a grant, that's
possible.
an insurance payment for coverage on a vehicle that was a total loss. That's totally different. There's no federal government overseeing the insurance company.
Unless-
see, this Humvee was a little different, because this Humvee actually, it was a police vehicle, but it was a government vehicle. That's why it was loaded into a back of a box truck and taken away.
Yep.
So let me get back to you on that, and I will have her email you.
Yeah, because
So
if
you
you
don't have
talk
to
to
wait.
Cecil, I think he'll tell you that it goes in the general fund, and unfortunately, because I wish there was an avenue for when you get revenue that comes in, it could be not show on the line, going out. It shouldn't, you get the money here, but it still has to show it over here spent, and you could affect the overspending the budget. But there's no way of getting away from that, right now, the
So-
way the RSA's are.
I understand totally what you're saying, Stan, so I will look at that to you on that.
So how do they, let's say they total the police cruiser, decide they've got too many, but they're gonna get an insurance check for that. How does that work?
Same thing, unfortunately.
So then how does it work if they get in an accident with a police cruiser and you get a check to get it fixed?
They pay the repair shop. They don't pay the town.
Okay.
Unfortunately,
Oh,
I don't like it.
No, that was, because I was trying to understand, okay,
Yeah.
let's say you total one and then, okay, you get, but yeah, they pay the shop directly.
That's why when we had one total, I don't know, 6, 7 years ago, we had to buy a used cruiser because it was gonna affect the budget so much that we couldn't go down that
Okay.
road. We had to
Yeah,
buy
yeah,
a used cruiser,
Okay, that makes,
all right? I don't agree with it. I don't agree with it one bit. It should be apples for apples. If it was to replace something, it should be able to go for replacement without affecting the budget. But unfortunately, the way the RSA is written is from what I know from our same attorney, but I haven't been a select board for years, maybe something's changed, but I would ask him because that's the way I understand it.
Yeah, no, I'll ask, I'll get back to you on that.
Okay. Tom?
How is it we haven't spent any gas in the police department? Line 640?
What page?
They're all electric cars now.
I guess, page 6.
Yeah. $20,000 remaining.
Can I have one of them cars?
Because they don't, unfortunately, he doesn't
All right.
pay it every month.
But we're 6 months into it. He hasn't spent anything.
Yeah, but that's on a Wex card,
Yeah,
so it should be paid.
I know, but he doesn't, I know, I was actually looking at that line. I was actually looking at that line. I was actually looking at that line on our town car, because no fuel has been used.
It's gotta be applied against another line someplace. The check's been written, so it has to be in the journal. So it has to be applied to some line someplace.
Probably.
Either that or not doing proper bookkeeping.
Well, I know Heather said that there are a lot of things. that
Yeah, I
we're
know they're
looking
going
at
through,
here. Yep.
working on things.
Yep.
I remember that discussion last night,
Yep.
but.
So,
Okay.
then, the,
Just fixed, okay.
is there any,
Great question.
any other questions, something that catches your eye on the town budget? Stan?
I'm all done for now.
Dennis? Down at the left-hand side, Aaron, Sean, Bob. Tom?
Stan covered all my questions for me.
Okay,
I'll let you do it
gonna say,
next
how
time.
about me?
How's that? I just can't stop myself.
and shop liver, yeah.
I am chopped liver. Just call me chopped liver, no problem.
If I was
Uh,
using
okay,
all the time,
then-
it would be a lot easier
Yeah,
for me,
absolutely.
but-
You know more than I do.
That, Ford,
Yeah, I mean,
knock, knock.
probably might put a I mean, not that I don't look at this.
He's trying to hold the meeting.
Gentlemen,
Sorry.
oh, no problem, you're the one whose attention I want. That is, so for summary, you are going to check on how the $11,000 can be used and what mechanism may exist for a pass-through with it not going back into the general fund,
Because I
or,
know, not to interrupt, because I'm just thinking, there is a way to use it, Joanne said, and because the fire department's gonna use it to outfit their new truck with lights from the sale of their old truck.
Mhm.
There is a way, Stan.
Oh,
Oh, there's no way. You can move any, you can put in any line you want.
No, there is a legal way, and I will have the answer for you in an email, and you can share it with your colleagues.
I mean, you can spend 90% of this budget on one line if you want to.
No, I understand.
All right?
gentlemen, yeah,
But
yes.
The
But,
funds are coming from someplace else.
I agree. The point is, the summary of the things that Andy is writing down, and that is the resolution of the $11,000,
Okay.
and the next one that you wrote down is knocked out of my head because I started paying too much
The
attention.
fire,
The fuel line?
no, the
And the fuel line. Was there anything else that seemed significant that you wanted to get back to us on? Just the fuel line
Life insurance?
and the life insurance, okay.
makes no sense.
Those three, okay.
Just one more,
Bob
Mr. Chairman.
Carrier.
I still want to know that contracted services, if that's a huge number. I want
Okay.
to know if it's justified. That's all I want to know.
For 1 month, yeah.
For 1 month, I mean, yeah, for 1 month.
Actually, I think we have the authority to ask to see a copy of all the contracts.
August is coming. Tom, did you have another point?
I was gonna, speaking of contracted services, could we get a list of the services covered by that line as a start?
You know, if we had that backup material, some of that would be in there.
Yeah.
Okay, we didn't get it last year. I have an old copy, but the
Well, that's
numbers
all
are not going to
changed.
be the same.
That's all changed.
So what do you, so you're looking for a list of the contracted
Like,
services that we
Yeah,
use from
like,
month to month?
what would be great is if, say, for the what, my school district, let me grab the right report here, to look at, so I can tell you the right things. So like, town administration, there's a contracted services line at, 413340. The Who else? Basically, departments that have contracted services, if we could have a breakdown of this is what we expend out of this line for a contracted service. And then if we decide we need to have more detail, we can say, hey, can we get the contract for this? Can we see the latest contract for that? When was the last time this contract was let out to bid? Or are we so happy with the janitorial service that we've been using the same people for 20 years? That, we might ask for that later, but if we can get a start with okay, these are the contracted services that we currently have that are covered under these various lines.
So
That
you
would be-
want that town-wide?
That'd be nice.
Well, I'm thinking that if we could, it should be easy to get. I mean, somebody's right, I would think. You know, but for each of the large, you know, like the town administration has contracted services. I'm certain highway department has contracted services, probably the library, you know, and just, okay, for the library, this contracted services line, we pay the cleaning crew out of that. You know, for town administration, we pay our computer support, we pay the cleaning crew, we pay the bug people out of this, or whatever it is. I'm making stuff up. I got no idea.
No, I totally understand.
Yeah, Dennis?
If I may add to that, I know you had the discussion last night about the IT and what you wanted to expect and that whole conversation. That's the sort of thing I'd like to see involved in that IT change.
Yeah.
Is that these contract services, professional services, legal services, as Tom and Sean and others are saying, should be available on that new site when it becomes available. That's what I think.
On the new website?
Yeah, when it comes up, when time
Right.
comes.
No, I was just actually thinking, for Sean, when he has this, I mean, we could incorporate that into our new town
Very
website.
easily.
Very easily. I mean,
Yes.
I think that'd be.
Yeah, you know, and what a way to show the townspeople, this is where your your money's going.
Yeah.
Hey, everything's green, holy crap, this line turned red, but it's because we had a infestation of black larvae that we had to spend $80,000 to get rid of or something.
Yeah, I mean, the two reasons why I ran for budget committee is, number one, for myself, because I had no idea how it worked, and number two, to educate all the citizens of the town, make things really open and honest so everyone can look at it. Dennis has always obviously done an awesome job, like getting everyone out and like getting a lot more people involved. But you know, we have to package it so it's easy to understand, because some of the stuff you're just like
Oh, yeah.
LI, like I had no idea what LI is, and luckily Bob helped me out here. So
That, exactly. My comment is always, when you pack enough print and line items on a piece of paper, the paper turns black and it means nothing. And what Tom just said, and what I've always been interested in, particularly for the school district, is the totals for the main functions of the organization. And what Tom just said, the total for the main function of contract services. Information technology distributed across departments, cleaning services, Cocheco Valley, and IT. And there should be, for the way I think about it, and what Sean is saying partially, is we have six different categories that are contracted services. The total for all those contracted services is $50,000. The biggest one is $10,000 for the police department information technology, which must be secure and up to federal and state standards. Boom, and that's the kind of, and this year we're taking a terrible hit because that server is 8 years old with a 10-year life expectancy. That, for me, is information. So, anything else to hit on the town rep budget status and issues of note?
School's turn next year.
There's just
Bob Carrier.
Mr. Chairman, just, what are we paying the part-time bookkeeper? I don't know what we're paying her, but it's certainly gonna be different.
I want to say it's it's in the $17 range.
$70 an hour.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. She's still part-time,
Oh, very much so.
just 3 days a week, or?
Yeah, I mean, it's not gonna go over like 25 hours a week.
Okay. That's it.
Okay. that brings us to the topic of other business, and the first would be Sean's earlier comment from old business on the use of BCC. Sean?
Yeah, obviously in light of some of the activities and the different boards of the town, I didn't even understand what the 91A was, right? Now I'm becoming much more aware of what it is, especially my own faux pas of replying all, which we addressed the last meeting. One way to get around that never happening is to make sure everyone's in the BCC line if you send out a mass email. Therefore, if anyone hits reply all, it's only going back to the person who sent it. I think it protects everyone. The only downfall of that is I can't look at it and say, oh, they messed up Dennis's email address because I know it. That's the only downfall it is, because I know that. Right, because I know that my email address was a little bit wrong. I have a terrible handwriting. I totally probably wrote it wrong. So I didn't get one. I sent out a note like, hey, has anyone received it? I think Dennis said, yeah, I got mine like a week ago. Oh, okay. Hey, Bob, maybe my email address is wrong. This is the one that please send it to. So.
May I ask a question about that? I totally understand the BCC, but does that really cover, if you send out an email to all of us and BCC it, does that cover the 91A? Because you're still...
I would say no.
Okay, all right.
But it's the misclick to reply all.
The only people that should be sending a blanket email is the chairman, as in an agenda, or the vice chair in this case,
Yeah.
on the town administrator, which wouldn't apply to the 91A,
Right.
or someone in the town hall. None of us should be sending a blanket email to everybody. We should always send it to the chairperson or...
For the library, which Betsy has been of remarkable good use, and she is our pivot point and administrator. And so she will send out the question that just says, Larry, can you make this meeting date? She does not say Larry, Lori, and Nancy. So that works to protect. The problem is that the public body cannot do the business of the committee in a quorum which has been called or exists without public notice. So the directed information presented as information for the use of all without a decision being made in a telephone telephone tag manner, so that the information is out to be discussed at such and such a public meeting, is the way you can present the information that you want to discuss without discussing the information by saying, hey, Joe, did you get it? So,
If you don't mind,
I'm totally confused now, Larry.
if you don't mind,
yes,
you could always do what Heather does with us. She always does FYI, please do not respond.
Mhm.
And you probably knew that, but.
No, I mean, no, it makes
Yeah.
it makes complete sense.
But
I know,
But he
like,
still
at
can't
work-
send out a blanket message to everybody, even if it says not to respond. Anything with 5 people and above is a quorum.
no.
If he can't, then the chairman can.
The chairman can do an agenda.
Yep,
And-
he's sending information out, just what Larry just said.
But he can't.
So why couldn't the chairman say, Sean, you developed a spreadsheet, when you're done with it, send it out to everybody?
The way I understand it, the chairman has the authority to send out information as in agendas and so forth, and not be a 91A violation.
See, what Heather does is she emails each selectman separately.
Right.
FYI,
Yes.
do not respond. I mean, if you wanted to
And
go through,
that would eliminate it altogether if you would do that.
if you wanted to go through,
It's
you
not a
know,
blanket
if you
email.
wanted to do such
Yeah.
a thing. I mean,
Yeah, I would not want to put that burden on Bob sending out
Yeah.
an individual emails to
But
9
that's
plus
what
people.
she does, and that's legal.
Sure.
Well, now, if you sent it to Bob, and then Bob sent it out to everybody, because do you have what am I trying?
Seems like every year we
All of
go
our
around and
emails
around
that
on
you
this.
say, Budget Committee or BC?
I have to do it individually. I don't know how to set that thing up.
Oh,
so
we
I
need to
just-
set that up for you, Bob, come on.
Well,
But I mean, if you had that set up, then Sean could send something to you, and then all you do is just go, oh, shoot, budget committee, and send it off to all of us, since you can send us information, but Sean can't.
Okay.
Oh, he's got the 91A.
That,
Oh, dear.
it is, I just happen to have this nice thing. The New Hampshire Planning and Land Use Regulation is a wonderful book because they put in the background of the 91A. And meeting, convening of a quorum of the public body, majority of the members, such public body, whether in person, by means of telephone or electronic communication, or in any other manner such that all participating members are able to communicate with each other contemporaneously, subject to the provisions set forth below, for the purpose of discussing or acting upon a matter over which the public body has supervision, control, jurisdiction, or advisory power. A chance, social, or other encounter not convened for the purpose of discussing or acting is not a meeting. So information, unless there is contemporaneous communication, and it is for the purpose of discussing or acting on something over which we have statutory control, it ain't a meeting. And we are so lawyer prone that everybody runs double scared, where you should only be cautious and prudent. And the funny thing is, if you reveal, with what I will call malice, which is too strong a word, if you reveal confidential information from an executive session, from a non-public session, you may be removed from office. If you reveal anything else, if you act as a quorum under 91A, what happens is the action taken may be revoked by the Superior Court. You have to do it over. The person may be personally fined $250, and they may be required to go to sensitivity training on 91A. That's it. Those are the legal consequences of 91A violations.
Cool.
So anyway, anybody, any copy of this will have it. If you go to the state website, it will be there. Very nice. And there is a wonderful memo from March of, I think, 2015 from Joseph Foster, who was the state Deputy Attorney General, laying it out. Basically, it is not worth the aggravation not to wait the week until you're having your real meeting. So much for the BCC. I think again, I will just mention what I always call my warts as chair. I'd like to get the information of the meeting across. I am not a technical person. Bob Carrier has been an excellent resource in putting together and sending out the agenda. And when August comes, we work something out more for the information coming into us. That's fine with me. I am the go-between. Next, and as go-between, good segue, I have here the notice of appointment. Aaron, you have not taken an oath of office.
Yes, you have.
Yes, you
Yes.
did.
You have.
Mike gave it
Then
to her.
what are we? Then
This
I
one
had to sign something, I guess. Somebody told me, Heather or
Oh,
one of the
okay.
girls up front
That's-
said that y'all had something for me to sign.
yes,
that-
this document, you have to put, the board members have to put their
Oh, okay.
name on that.
And
And your signature's
when
gonna
you,
be put on it.
yeah, when you have a chance, take this into to Michelle, who's the clerk. So I'm going to pass it down to my left, since Sean, you are closest to me. If you would,
No, you
would
sign
You have to sign it.
sign, pass it back to Bob, pass it to Tom,
Oh, okay.
Peg, and down the line. And then we are not having our signatures notarized. We are just saying that this is what we want to do. So that's fine. And then that will make you double, as far as I'm concerned. Double legal.
Yeah.
Well,
This
if
goes
you wanna
on
get up
record.
and, rip it up as it's going around, then sure.
But that one there, just the town clerk has a copy of that.
Yeah.
So and Mike is gonna have to sign it, because he swore
All
it
right,
in.
so I can't sign it.
Why, you weren't here?
Well, am I
Yeah.
budget committee? Oh.
Yeah, you're a budget committee
Yeah,
member.
was she
You-
part of the vote, though?
Yeah.
Does she have to be part of the vote? I don't know, I'm
No, no,
asking the
it's gonna
I
question.
hope not, because I signed it and I
That-
was part of the
piece
vote.
that it's under our hand. This is for June 20th. There was a wonderful guy by the name of Parkinson, taught in the Irish school system, and every line on the report form at the end of the month had to be filled in, including the size of the classroom. Every month he changed the size of the classroom, he turned it into a football field and a postage stamp. And as long as there was a number on the line, nobody ever noticed.
I just like to do things right, that's all.
Aaron, I give that to you to take to Michelle, who is the town clerk, when you can do that. I believe our work is done. Did you sign?
Yes, I did. I want to make sure she signs here and here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
then-
print your name, print your name.
And sign it here, okay? There's only one more business, Mr. Chairman. We have to go, I guess we have to decide that we're gonna take July off.
We,
Oh,
it has been traditional that we take July off because if things are not going smoothly in the middle of the year, there's no hope for any of us. And vacations come up. I think we should have a motion that there will be no meeting in July, and we will resume on the third Tuesday in August. Motion, Bob Carrier?
Make a
Second.
motion.
Second, Stan Nato. All in favor?
Aye.
I need a next motion. Stan?
What's that?
Get out of
You're
here.
close.
And beforehand,
Oh,
weren't you supposed to, or weren't you planning on having a discussion on the budget conferences?
Yeah.
We just had a motion to adjourn, didn't we?
No, we did
yeah.
not. No, we did not.
You
You-
seconded.
You
Wait
stood
for
up,
you.
but you didn't make the motion,
You
so
were
we're
too
safe.
slow.
There was no second.
Nice try.
I seconded, I
No,
thought.
no, you all you did was stand up. We can run the tape. Speak to me.
Well, I just know that, just to reiterate, I brought it up initially, and then we had the discussion last week, the committee had the discussion last month, myself and Tom were not present, and you had said that we had discussed, that the committee would discuss it and make some recommendation this week after Tom and I were present.
Okay, I can speak to that. What it is, I gave you and Tom
Yes.
tonight, September 12th is the first one. Now, it's in Putnam Restaurant, but the only one I can find is 40 Main Street. I want to do is talk to Heather about that. The second one is okay, it's at Attitash. That's September 26th. And this is going to come out of the budget. If anybody wants to go, the forms will be ready. We should be getting some in August. Now, I gave you that sheet because you have to register ahead of time. But as we get close, we're gonna meet before that, September. But if I can get those forms first, whoever wants to go.
Okay, that's what I was wondering.
Okay, what is, I'm hoping Heather won't forget me. She'll put that in the mailbox for us, so I can hand it to anyone that wants to go. It's going to come out of our budget. We're going to overspend it, but it's
Well,
gonna.
that's one of the things I was gonna say, is if I had the ability, I don't know how, if the committee chooses who they wanna go, or we just
doesn't
go as
matter.
individuals, but if I go as an individual, I'll take my own way.
That's what I said too.
That
Yeah, who's going to the school department?
If you
So-
want to pay it for me, you're
Then-
all
It's up to
right.
the individual.
let's, how about an easy consensus, which is one, that when August comes, the materials will be here.
Correct.
To the degree that you are comfortable paying for it by yourself, fine. If there is someone who feels that they would like, as a budget committee member with a budget for the conference, to use the appropriate funds to pay for that, that's also on the table. So that comes in August. Anyone who wishes may attend.
That'll be on the agenda for
Yeah,
August.
so I don't think there's anyone who has a problem with that. Aaron, particularly the invitation is yours. Sean, you're there. Anybody who wishes to go. Attitash is pretty.
Beautiful in September.
Yeah, Loon Lake had the best Danish, but I'm sure no one would go for that.
Is this something that is taught now, or?
That's what someone, all of us got. That's my copy. You're welcome to take a copy of it.
Oh, you got it from where? From that training or someplace
No.
else?
Actually, Bruce went to the training, and he brought it back and made us copies.
Yes, and I believe that when check with general information, check with Heather. I believe that I just blocked his name. Previous town administrator.
Jeremy?
Jeremy Bourgeois, thank you, had made a download of the contents of that. So if you do not have easy access and want, for your own information, a long-term copy of the materials that haven't changed that much, the copy that I lent to you now, run that past Heather, and it's possible that it's out there on the internet, just floating to be nabbed. But
Right.
check with Heather, because it may be a program that Jeremy downloaded specifically,
Okay.
and then the town can just go.
All right, now I'm making the second.
Okay.
One question, I have to give this to Heather?
Or
No.
yes.
Michelle or
Michelle.
Michelle?
Michelle.
Where am I, who's
Oh.
Heather?
Where's
The,
the town manager?
Michelle,
Okay.
no,
Okay,
That-
what's your,
that Michelle
Mike's
is
gonna
the
need to
public.
sign this, it looks like.
Okay.
Yep.
She's a town
Michelle
clerk.
is the public notary, and she will forward that to the official records of the state and of the town. And did I see you sign it in her
I
presence?
did.
Yeah, you signed it in her presence, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, you said something.
That,
I didn't
Sean?
told.
the budget book that he was referring to, did you want a copy of it?
No. I
Okay.
had it in my,
You got one?
Is this one yours?
No.
that's one I borrowed from Stan for
Oh, okay.
too long, and like,
Okay.
it's got about 3 pages in it. Almost.
Would you like me to put that in the signature file for the selectmen so Mike can
That
sign
would be
that?
awesome.
Yes, that would be a good idea, but then
yeah.
Would Heather like one?
May I see that before you?
Heather, would you like one of
Pass
these?
Actually, Larry, let me borrow a copy, so thank you.
Oh, I was gonna say, I could send it to you electronic.
Oh, that'd be awesome, right?
All right, hang on a second.
Personally
Tom, if you have
appeared,
a-
personally appeared the above
If you have an
name.
electronic format.
Personally
Yep.
appeared the
Email.
above
Great,
name.
thank you.
Michelle
Budget
will,
_ committee
will- will want,
3ponds.com.
There
if
we
she
go.
notarizes something, she will want to see Erin
With
personally.
my license.
Because her reputation as notary is there, and she protects that.
Okay.
So this would be for you
Okay.
to hand personally to Michelle, and if she wants to pass it on to
Sounds
Mike.
good.
All right,
Oh,
I'll make
my
a second
God.
one more time.
You don't want one
Okay,
of those?
is there any other
Did
business?
did I hear a motion first?
Someone made a motion originally, now a second.
Oh, I never heard the motion.
I
stood
said,
up.
I said, is there a motion to adjourn?
And then
Motion
someone
to
said
adjourn.
yes, and I
No.
said second.
Sean motioned?
Yes.
Stan second? Everyone in favor? Stand up and leave.
okay,
Thank you for your time and work.
R-I-N,
okay.
Wait a minute, ERIN.
Y-L,
Yeah.
D as
Oh.
in David,
Sorry.
the number one,
17.
Take a look
at
at that.
iCloud.com.
Town owns that.
At what?
iCloud.
That's
iCloud.
correct. I just checked my thing.
ERINYLD1 at iCloud.com.
That's
Let me,
E-R-I-N-Y-L-C-1
When she sends
at
it to me, I
iCloud.com.
get
All right.
He's gonna
this.
send me electronic copy.
You got it.
Okay.
That way, because isn't her at Metrocast a lot easier?
It is.
Maybe less than that.
Especially since I had it in there, I just typed HU, boom, there it is.
Hey, I got a question for
I got an
you.
action to see if they
Uh,
Tech,
the thing
tech,
is,
tech,
There's some
Brenda
that-
did send that out
Techie,
because I
right?
got everybody's
Yeah,
email
okay.
address on
Alright.
this.
I have an HP
When Brenda
printer.
sent out the minutes,
Yes.
Maybe a year and a half old at this point.
Aaron's is in there too.
I signed up for the
But why didn't I-
I
HP,
don't know, because,
$4.99 a month, and they sent me the ink. Yeah, great.
because, I'm
Except
looking
all
at
of
the
a
list.
sudden, I mean, I don't print that much, and all of a sudden, I get this strange message that
My
comes up
granddaughter
on the
graduated from
printer
eighth grade tonight.
that says,